Alright folks, in this video I am going to walk you through how to set up your image for creating a keychain. First off, these current keychains all have a very special stroke weight, and that is the color is FF0000. That will ensure that the vector lines get cut out by the laser. So you just have to double click on the stroke of the shapes you want to cut and assign FF0000 as the color. Now, how do you get a specific outline shape? Well, you can use any of the shape tools here, but I'm going to try to do something somewhat custom for a specific image. I want to have this image. I'm going to go to File, Place, and I'm going to go to my desktop and bring in this Adidas sneaker that I have. Where's the Adidas shoe? Alright, I'm bringing in the Adidas sneaker. Whoops. And the first thing I'm going to do is try to get Adobe Illustrator to create a image trace version of it. Now I'm going to tell it to embed, and then I'm going to ask for image trace. I'll try 3 colors. And it's going to simplify things a little bit when it's done. Oop, oh my goodness. Hopefully that's not a permanent crash. That would certainly lay this demo short. Okay, so it actually did a pretty decent job gathering the lines that I want. And I'm going to tell it to expand. And what that's going to do is it's going to let me select these outer parts of the box and delete them. So now I could pick, for these values, I could do a slightly different fill color if I wanted the laser to interpret it as something different, something a little bit darker. And give it a black stroke. But the other thing I want you to know is that how can you get a silhouette around here so you're not poking a hole in the actual shoe. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to select the entire group. I'm going to go to Control C, Control V, so I'm going to have 2 copies. Now this copy up top, I'm going to give all of the objects a green fill color and a green stroke weight. And you can see now it looks a good bit like a silhouette. What I'm going to do is pump up that stroke weight a lot. It's getting a little bit pokey. So let me see if there's a way to put the strokes on the outside and see if that will smooth it out. Oh, it made it worse. Okay, bear with me. Yours may work just with this alone, but I'm going to have to find a more elegant solution. So I think what I'll do is I'll actually assign 0 points on it for right now, and I'm going to use something called the Pathfinder. I'm going to go to Window and make sure I have Pathfinder up, because I want to be able to unite those together. This is something we haven't done since the, probably middle of the year when we were uniting our letters together. Now with this shape, I think I've got some little bits and bobs here in the center I probably need to clear out. So what I'm going to do is select it, give it a different colored fill color, and I'm going to use this lasso tool here, and just any of these spare little bits, I'm going to circle them and press the delete key. And I see another little bit there, and another little bit there. Oop, I may have to zoom in a touch. Okay, I have a few more bits to take care of. The lasso is the easiest way to grab them and delete them, so there's no holes in my shape. The other thing is there's some kind of just sloppy areas here around the path. So what I'm going to do is go to Object Path, and I'm going to ask it to simplify. I'm not going to simplify it a whole heck of a lot. I think I'll just move this slider. I still want it to look like a shoe. I just want fewer of those notches around there. Okay, let me see what my percentages are. Corners, we want to be very smooth. I'll click OK there. Everything looks good. I do have one weird kind of path point down here. Let me take a look at it. Get rid of those. A little guy there. Yeah, okay, those weren't even part of the main group. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pump up the stroke weight a bunch. It doesn't matter what color you have for this. Okay. When I put this on top, I want to look and see, is that enough extra material for me to put a hole? I don't think it is, so I got to keep pumping up the stroke weight. Now I think I could probably fit like a hole somewhere over here. Now how do I get this to be a solid shape? I have to go to Object and ask it to expand. And I'm going to expand both the fill and the stroke. And then I'm going to use the Pathfinder once again to unite them. And that's one solid shape. Now for this to be what's cut out by the laser, I have to have no fill and a very specific stroke color. That is FF0000. And I want my line weight for the stroke to be 0.05. That will be the cutout. This will be what's etched in and wood burned. And then I need to figure out where I'm going to put the hole. So I think I may take a circular shape like so and overlap it with what I have here. So I'm going to press I, so I give it the same properties. That's the eyedropper. And I want to unite these two together. Not the image, but these two. So I'm going to go to Unite. Now, I'm going to take another circle. And that will be the hole that gets cut out. And this image will be burned in. This image will be cut out, leaving me a hole for my keychain. So that I can go ahead and group together. And this is an example of what I would then go to File, Save As. And you want to save on your computer. Your last name keychain. All right, let me call it Hatchl Shoe Keychain. I'll save it right on the desktop. And then I can go ahead and upload it to the appropriate folder. Now, let me make a quick Google Drive. In fact, I will go to the handout, and that's got a link for the different keychain folders. Depending on which period you're in, you would want to go into there, and if you want it cut from wood, you'll open the wood folder. If you want it cut from acrylic, you go to the acrylic folder. I want this in wood, so I'm going to go into wood, right click, and ask for file upload. And I'll just go to the desktop and look for Hatchl Keychain. There it is, Hatchl Shoe Keychain. Boom. So it's uploading that file, and that's going to allow for me to access it from the computer that had the laser attached. Okay, so to summarize, anything that gets cut out, all right, if it's part of a group, we got to double click it to go inside, and we can select it. Anything that's part of a group has to have the exact color FF0000 as the stroke, no fill, and then something small like 0.05 points. Okay, any other artwork that you have, these are an example of a self-portrait keychain, a logo keychain, an artwork keychain, and a letter keychain. Okay, all of the red will get cut out, all of the black areas will get cut away, or I'm sorry, etched away. Now this one here, because it is not black and white, the computer will interpret the darker purple values and burn away more material. The lighter values will be more like shades of gray. Okay, so keep that in mind as you work, and make sure that you put your items in the right folder, whether that's the acrylic, the clear acrylic, or the wood.